In this tutorial, we're going to go over quite a few things, starting with how the new grouping works in Blackboard 9. We'll go into how you can create single groups and you can manually enroll students or they can enroll themselves. You can also make a set of groups at once and then the students can enroll themselves. The instructor can enroll students independently, or you can actually allow Blackboard. The final thing we're going to do is show how the grading works. So let's start. To group students in Blackboard, you need to go to the control panel and select the Manage Groups from the expanding menus. When you've done that, you're going to go through adding groups, and let me show you those steps. I'm in a sandbox course that I like to play around in, and I've gone over to my control panel, and you'll see that there is a Users and Groups area that expands when you select the title. You're going to want to go into this section, the one that says Groups. And when you do, you'll see that you have two buttons that allow you to determine what kind of group you're going to create. Let me show you what those of you who use Blackboard 8 are probably most familiar with. I'm going to select a manual enroll group, single group I should say. And I'm going to go back over the difference between the two, group set and single, but I just want to show you the basics of how a group is set up. Every group needs a name, and this name, whatever you put in this field here, is what the students will see when they select the groups area of your course. If you'd like to put a description, it will show underneath it, much like an item does, but you don't have to put a description. You can pre-create the groups and then later make them available. The default is to have the group available right away. Now this is what is very different than what we had in version 8. Because there are blogs and wikis and journals that are built into the new system, you have the ability in a group to have a shared group tool. All of these are turned on, and you're going to have to determine what is the purpose of your group and where they're going to do their assignments. So I'm going to make this particular group one that is going to have a wiki that they're going to work on. So I've gone through and deselected the tools that my students will not need to use for this group assignment. I've kept email on because that has a nice feature where the students can come in one selection, email just the members of their group from the course. And I've also kept the wikis turned on, and I additionally added 50 points possible. What this is going to do is generate a column in my grade center that will only affect the students in this group and will be up to 50 points. The modules for groups can now be a space for the students if they'd like to add other things. For example, if the students wanted to add, say, a news stream from NBC, or if they wanted something from the New York Times, they can have a customized page that's just for their group, and any member of the group is able to do the customization. So you can determine if you want this on or off, but leaving it on is going to be something you no longer have to, once you leave it on, you don't have to think about anything. Now this group was a single group, and it was manual enroll. So just like our old system, you would come down and you would select the students that you wanted to enroll in this group. And then only these students are going to see this group, and only these students are going to participate in the wiki, and only these students will be affected by the grade center column that's generated when you create this. So let's review just the basics, and then we'll take it up a notch. You're going to go into the groups area from the control panel. You'll click on add a group, and in our case we just did single manual, but I'm going to go in and detail those in just a moment. It does need to be titled, and you can optionally add a description, and then you select the tools that are available. So these last two items should make sense now. The graded items do create a column in the grade center, and those columns only affect the students. When we get to the grading feature towards the end, it is possible to grade all the students at once with a single grade that populates everyone, or you can grade each member of the group individually. The instructor has that option. I did put the asterisk here that personalization allows students to customize the home page. Now, single group creation. This does one group at a time. It functions a lot like Blackboard 8 did. However, there's a new feature in version 9 that allows another option every time you create a group. If you want to have a self-enroll, the students can go into the groups area in their view of your course, and they'll see all the groups that are available, and they get to enroll themselves. So this takes us up a step and allows the students to create their own groups and takes this off of you. Let me show you how this works. I'm back in this sandbox, and again I've expanded the users and groups area, selected groups, and in this pull down menu I'm now going to choose the self-enroll option. You're going to see similar setup features. It does get to be named, and I've titled this so when we go into the student view it'll be obvious. Again, you can optionally put in a description here. And you can decide if it's available and if it has a sign-up sheet only. I'm going to keep the sign-up sheet only turned on. And I'm going to do the same thing with the tools, but you'll see all the same tools are available. Below, the personalization is there, but now there's a sign-up sheet. And when you add the list to the sign-up sheet, the name, this is what the students are going to see, and you'll want to make, several groups for them to select from, or possibly you'll just make one group and not everybody will be in it. But now you can do a maximum number of members. So if I say this group can only have 4 students, and anyone who's already signed up, they'll see who's already in the groups, and I want the sign-up to take place from the group area. So I now have a new group here, and I would imagine that an instructor would go through and make several of these self-enroll groups, but let's jump over to what a student sees. I'm now in a student view. I have the course menu expanded over here on the left, and I've come into the home page. So what I'll need to do to be able to sign up is select groups, and now here's the self-enroll that we just created, and here's a link to a sign-up sheet. It tells me that there are no group members yet and that there can be up to 4. I'm going to be one student here, and then we're going to go in and be another student and see what it looks like once members are there. So now I am a member of this group. What the students will do then is they'll see their group show up when they look at their group section. I've logged in as yet another student. I'm going to do the same thing, select groups, choose the sign up, and now I can already see that there's a student in here, and I'm going to be one of those students also. So now I'm in this group as well. So back in the instructor view, I can select this. I can tell that 2 students are members, and I believe because I had only turned on that sign-in sheet, I need to go back and edit, and I need to now make this group available. And when I do that, the students are going to see their group tools. Let me hop back over as a student. Here, so now the student is self-enroll, the student chose, and this is what it looks like to them. They're in the group. Here are the other group members. We'd selected that they had a wiki and email, and we said that they could personalize, so they could come in and say, oh, I'd like to have the NBC archives like I talked about, or some of the other things that are available in Blackboard. So to review single group creation, the manual enroll allows you to put the students in the group. The self-enroll creates a sign-up sheet so students can go through and pick which group they'd like to be in.